going and I'm going, and it just don't feel right. Look, just look at that. Hey, welcome to Mikey's world. And I'm Tabitha. See, read my name. We got the birds chirping in the background. And this is the mascot to the Chevy Cruze that we'll be working on today. And I'm Mikey, still your host. And we're gonna be doing a timing belt on this thing because, you know, it's got over 200,000 miles on it, and every time you hit the key, the little light says, hey, do a timing belt. So I'm tired of looking at it. The thing sounds real bad, you know. It almost sounds like the valve is a little tappy, tappy, tappy on the old piston there, but that's okay. We're gonna try and get the timing belt done. Hopefully it fixes the issue before we ruin the motor, if we haven't already. Nah, Tabitha says we're good. So this car was gifted to my girlfriend Julia through a friend's parents because they were moving out of state. So, you know, we gotta maintenance it. We gotta keep her up to going so we could keep driving her around a bit. But the car was wrecked twice by deer apparently. So that's why the whole front end's black. You know, it doesn't matter if it matches the rest. It drives really straight, actually. So, we're gonna jump in here. We got a lot to prepare before we can even get to, what is it called? The timing belt? Yeah, that's what we're doing. So, take a look, see? We gotta get the air box out of our way. We got a little electrical clippies, you know. And it looks like we're gonna have to probably drop the motor mount. Maybe the belt itself too, you know, the serpentine belt, and then this plastic cover. But it does look like somebody did do the timing belt at 101,000 miles, 340 something. And that looks like the date of December 30th or 20th of 2017. So that's actually really cool. I didn't know that. I never really haven't done much to this yet, you know, haven't had it that long. Don't know much information about the car. It is a one-owner car, that it was wrecked, you know. It does got some dingers, but you know, the doors open, they close, it's all right. It's good. But what I do know is it's a 6-speed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So we got to do the timing belt so we can go full race mode, because I haven't been able to go full race mode yet because I've been a little chicken to blow the motor up. Even though a free car is the perfect car to do it to, but it could either be potential money, which who doesn't need money in times like this, or it could be a good daily. Holy cow, Mikey, you done tore this thing apart. So we took a motor mount and our air box, you know, the stuffs and the cover, and then the motor mount bracket to the motor we took off, and the belt is gone. Come over here to my table, and this is the order we've taken the pieces off, minus the wheel. I also took the wheel off because I feel like I'm gonna have to get in here to be able to access that crank back here at some point. I'm hoping there was a little foresighting going on here, but I could be wrong. So the next thing to look at here is getting the rest of this cover off. Looks like we may or may not have to pull this idler, or I mean, that's actually the belt tensioner. I'm learning and figuring it out as I go. I may admit, I may have helped my sister do one on her Cruze in the previous days, but I'm not claiming that right now. Getting a little further, got the plastic off, got the crank off down there, which, yes, we had to pull the crank pulley off before we could get the timing cover plastic off. This is what we're looking like on the bottom side. What I need to do now is I need to roll over the motor until number 1 piston is at the very top, TDC, okay? So I need to take the coil off, and I had to go find my little stars, and I just keep getting a little far without you guys because, you know, I'm forgetful and forget you guys. So I figured I'd give you a little heads up. We're taking these coils out. I guess it's 4 in 1, so coil out. And then we're gonna take the spark plug out. And we're just gonna get her top dead center, and then maybe in no time we'll be back together. Alright, so here's what's going down. I got the big one with my socket going down on the crank here. I got some ratchets going in, and what I'm gonna do is just twist over. And you see it? She's still coming up. She's gonna start going down at some point. That's when you know you're close. But take her easy. You don't want your thing to F up your holes down there. So just take her easy. Oh, you see her starting to go back down? That's where we stop. We wait. Now we got her top dead center going on. Notice these little dots here. They're not perfectly straight with each other, okay? So take a picture of that before you cut the belt or do some wild stuff. Also, come down here. And this little guy needs to be pointing with that little mountain down there, arrow pretty much. And I am almost dang perfect. So we confirmed top dead center. All our little nipples line up perfectly. So now it's time to cut that belt, or take the tensioner off would be the right thing to do. And then take the belt off, put the new belt on, put the new pulley on, put the other new belt on, or not belt, you know, the tensioner, and make sure everything's lined up. But what I got in store for you is I don't have one of those cool little tools to keep the camshafts, you know, from moving, but I do have a cool little trick that I could show you that might help you using the belt. I also did take off the belt tensioner, the serpentine belt tensioner, so I can get access to this pulley easier. Alrighty guys, so I got my Allen here in my tensioner, and I'm just saying it should not be this easy to undo. So I definitely think the belt tensioner is what died, not the timing belt. I'm gonna loosen this belt tensioner, get this belt off so I don't hurt myself. Alrighty, we got that belt off, no problem. And this guy did wiggle over just a little bit, put us out of time, but that's okay. We'll get her back right. But just look, I got 2 fingers, and you see that wobble? That's not good. Like, right there is hard to do with 2 fingers. That's how it should be all the way. All the way out, right there. Okay, but that's no good. No good at all. That's like custom variable timing right there. Here's a new old comparison. That one just looks pretty as could be. This one looks like all the grease or whatever on the inside just shot out of it. And listen to this. Hear nothing? Listen to this guy. Can you hear that rattle? That's no good. So it's definitely on its way out. Time to be done. I'm glad I'm doing the job. We got a new bolt. Looks very like this in our kit here. And let me tell you a little story here. I put the old bolt in the tensioner, okay, and clicked her down to the 40 foot-pounds that is explained here, and realized, oh, there's a new bolt. I'm gonna do the right thing, and I'm gonna use the new bolt. So I take that one, the old one, back out for the second time now, and I put the new one in, and I'm going, and it just don't feel right. I got the little thing set to the 40 foot-pounds, and it's just not clicking, but I've gotten more rotations out of this one than I did the other one, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I panicked, okay? I took it back out, and thank goodness I did. Look, just look at that. Can you see those? Those threads like doubled in size and the bolt got skinnier. So thank goodness I went with my instinct and pulled that bolt back out. Cause if I would've went another half a turn maybe, or a quarter turn, eighth a turn, maybe a full turn, I don't know. But if I'd have kept going is what I'm telling you, I'd have been screwed. Almost. Well, the block would have been screwed and I'd have been getting it out. But I'm glad I went with my instinct, took that bolt out. So I went with the old one anyways, put it with the 40 foot-pounds, and I walked away. And I went and had a nice, long, warm snack with Grandpa. We came back out. We got to business. Check this out. So we got our belt routed, and we pulled the picture from earlier that we took on this bad boy that I actually forgot about, and thank goodness Grandpa found one. So we got our belt set up, and I locked her down in this gear because that's where she wants to sit. And it looks scary, right, that this has got so much slack in here. But I marked it there because that's where I want the thing to sit here. But I didn't find another clamp in time. Found a marker faster. So what I'm gonna do is when this belt gets tension, that will stretch this out. It will then mark these marks back up where they're supposed to be. And then we just gotta make sure that our belt stays good and we get the ridges on the bottom of the belt lined up with the ridges on the crankshaft without moving the crankshaft, and make sure that stays on top dead center. Holy cow, a whole lot to think about all at once and a whole lot to do all at once. But is buying a fancy tool to lock those things in place when are you gonna do it ever again? Probably not. Not unless you do it every day. And you know, a few struggles later, a couple dad words as usual, and some, you know, tight places. But these things, they're perfect. They're not supposed to be perfectly straight. One's supposed to be like directly under the other, okay? And then you come down there and you got the point on the line, and then that was just that red line's me making sure I knew what I was doing, lining stuff up right, and we hit the nose right on the head, the nail on the head. You know, the saying that I can never think of when it's supposed to come out of my mouth, stuff like that. So we're to the point now that we can loosen up that tensioner a little bit, push our belt all the way back, make sure that it's locked in, we're good. And then all the parts that we took off earlier can go back on. Yeehaw! And the timing belt wasn't that hard. No extra tools needed. It was a little bit of a struggle doing it the way we did it, but we did it. It happened. And now we're done. And I could still pick little dude up from school with doing the whole job today. Now it's time to put this stuff back on. I might give her one good rotation to make sure that the belt is good. Maybe I'll just put it back together and trust myself. Figure it out in a sec. Dang, Mikey, you already got the whole thing back together. Look at that sticker. Yep, we got the new sticker on. I'll leave it up to you if you think I just put it all back together, or if I rotated the motor and checked if I was good. Go ahead and leave that in the comment, and I'll respond back to you. Anyways, we're all back together, minus the air box, and that's a screwdriver and a push-in, and a wheel, and then of course, a cleanup, because we don't want to leave the shop looking like trash. We got her on the ground, air box is in, everything's tightened down. So that means the hood's gonna go down. We're gonna start her up here, give her a little test run. Says old Tabitha, she's the boss. All right, YouTubies, we got Tabitha in her home. Gonna put the key in it. Let's see how we do. Oh, that sound didn't happen this time. Way happier seems already. Holy cow. I didn't mean to just pull it out of the garage and rip it like that, but you know, it just happens. If the flow was there, I had to keep going. But just this thing is just humming like a little hummingbird. It's doing good. I should have said more like purring like a kitten, just like Tabitha in there. She's all face backwards from the little whoop-de-woo we did. Holy cow. Look at that dirt. So there you have it. If you are afraid to do your own timing belt or pretty much any task on a car, it's usually easier than you think. You could always look it up on YouTube's. That's what we're here for. And I'm not trying to be all informational and give you all the details because it gets boring and all that. So just here, you know, get in there, get your hands dirty, stay motivated. So if you like this video, give me a like. Go ahead and comment what you liked about it, you know, or didn't like, you know, that's always fine. And subscribe to the channel because, you know, I like my square bodies, but I still got maintenance on my dailies I gotta take care of. So what the hey. So subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, we're here for a good time, not a long time. So stay motivated. Thanks for watching.